Hi and welcome to The Batch Lady, where I show you how to make fast, simple homemade meals you can make in advance, put in your freezer and use whenever you want. And today I am showing you how to make 3 meals for the fridge and 3 for the freezer, okay? So in this section, you are going to see that we're going to make 3 separate recipes. Each recipe is doubled, okay? So each recipe makes enough for 4 people. We're doubling it to make enough for 8. So you're going to end up with 2 meals from each recipe, 2 family meals, and we're making 3 recipes, okay? It's so easy. You're just following the step-by-step guide. And off we go, okay? So we are going to be really time efficient and we're going to be dipping in and out of different recipes as we go, okay? And that means that we can make way more recipes in a shorter amount of time. This is a great section to do because it basically means that you're making 3 meals just now. That's you ready for the week ahead. 3 of them are going in your freezer, and the other 3 that you've doubled from the same recipes is going in your fridge for a week where you're just super busy and you don't have time to cook. You just want to grab something out from the freezer and get going. Okay, so to start off, just to tell you the meals that we'll be making. We are making Chinese pork belly, we're making chicken, bacon and pesto farmer's plat, and we're making aubergine, sweet potato and pepper stew. We are going to get started with the Chinese pork belly. It takes 2.5 hours to cook in a pot. So what we're going to do is get started on this just now and get it on the stove. Okay, so these Chinese pork belly strips are just so easy to make, okay? You want to get yourself a large pan. Now your ingredients from the list you'll see are 2 kilograms of pork belly, 2 litres of chicken stock, 6 teaspoons of chopped frozen garlic, and then we're moving on to make a sauce. So let's get that in first. So I've got my 2 kilos of pork belly just going into my pan. And then in the same pan, I'm just going to add my chopped garlic, okay? 6 teaspoons. I love this frozen chopped garlic because it's just so easy. And then I can just do that and seal it back up, and there's nothing else I need to do. Perfect for really quick cooking. Now, I've already made up my 2 litres of stock with my stock cubes, okay? So I can just pour it straight in. If you need to, just make up your stock now and get it in. This is now going on a heat and it's going to start boiling, and we're just going to leave it there for about 2 hours. We're going to get it boiling, then we're going to reduce it down to a simmer. So once it's on boiling, reduce it down to a simmer, put the lid on and leave it for about 2.5 hours. Let's go. Okay, so you'll hear that. It's going to just start coming to a boil, okay? And I've now got my bowl. I've got 2 little bags just on my bag stands, and I'm going to make up the sauce, which is on your ingredients list under the Chinese pork belly. It says sauce ingredients, and we're just going to make it up. So you're going to need 2 teaspoons of chopped chili. And this is making double the sauce, and then we're just going to divide it into 2. You're going to need your dark brown sugar, and we need 4 tablespoons of this dark brown sugar, 8 tablespoons of your dark soy sauce, or any soy sauce that you can get, 4 tablespoons of your runny honey, and lastly 2 teaspoons of your lemongrass paste. Once you've got everything in the bowl, all you want to do is give it a really good mix around. Just take your time. You want to make sure that honey and the chilies all disperse around. Once you've mixed it, you're dividing it into 2 bags, so just roughly half in each bag, okay? Okay, once you've got your half in each bag, you're just going to seal up your little bags. So these tiny little bags work really well. You're just going to label your big bags. I'm using these reusable bags, and I'm just going to label them Chinese pork belly. Serves 4. Okay, once you've labeled your bags, just pop your little bag of sauce inside. These are just going to sit on the side and wait for the ribs to finish. And we're ready to start the next recipe. Let's go. We're going to work on the chicken pesto farmer's plat just now, okay? So you're just going to chop your chicken and dice it into pieces. I've done most of mine. I'm just going for this last bit. Then after this, give your hands a quick wash once you've put it in the pan. So I'm just going to add it to the bowl. Just keep using my one hand. Open up my olive oil and add some into the pan. And I'll just start this olive oil cooking onto the cooker while I wash my hands. We'll come back. Okay, so to this pan, you want to add your diced chicken. You want to add your lardons from your ingredients list. And your frozen chopped onions as well. Now, give it a stir around. It's going to brown. You're going to leave it just on a medium heat, giving it a quick stir every now and again for about 5 to 10 minutes. That's going to take 10 minutes to cook through. While that's cooking, we're going to move on to the aubergine stew, which literally takes like 5 minutes to make, so we can make it while this is browning. Let's go. Okay, so my chicken is browning nicely, and I can just move it onto a lower heat. It's got about 8 minutes left. I've just moved everything around on the counter and what I'm going to need for this stew. So you are now moving onto your aubergine and sweet potato stew, okay? Lay out all your ingredients and we're just going to get started. So you just want to grab your large pan, put it on the heat, and you're adding a couple of tablespoons of olive oil to the pan. You're then going to add your frozen chopped onions in as per the ingredients. And you're going to add your chopped garlic in next, okay? And we're just going to leave that for 2 to 3 minutes just to begin to soften. While that's softening, we're going to take our aubergines. I've already started chopping mine, and you're going to just chop the rest of your aubergines. So I just top and tail it, cut it in half, and then just chop it into sort of like chunks about that size. Okay? Dead easy. Let's go. Okay, go back to your onions, give them a stir and make sure they're browning nicely. Then you can begin to add all the other ingredients. Okay, so put your aubergine in the pan. Put your frozen sweet potato chunks. You need 4 cups or 700 grams, which this packet is. Can just go straight in. It's already chopped for you. I love that. Your sliced peppers, you need 700 grams. These ones frozen are already chopped for you. So again, we're fast cooking. And just give everything a good mix around then. So you need a big pot for this, remember? Okay, then you can add in your 4 cartons of passata, your tomato puree, and your oregano, which you need 2 teaspoons of. I'll just use the lid as a teaspoon. You can salt and pepper this if you want as well. Oh, 4 teaspoons, sorry, 4 teaspoons. I was thinking 2 teaspoons wasn't very much for the size of the pot. Salt and pepper it if you want, and give it a massive stir around. That is, you've just made a stew. That's going to sit and bubble away for about 25 minutes. So you're going to bring it to the boil, and then we're going to move it over to the simmering plate and just let it sit and simmer for 25 minutes and let all of that come together. I'll let you see what it looks like in the pan now. Okay, so while that's bubbling away, you can now get your chicken off the stove. It's now cooked. Drain off any excess liquid that you want. You're then going to add in 1 cup of creme fraiche. You're going to add in 4 tablespoons of pesto. And you're going to add in 10 sun-dried tomatoes. For these, you just need to chop them. So just grab yourself a knife and a board and pull out 10 out of your jar and just get chopping. Once you've finished chopping them, just get them back in the pan. You can leave this off the heat now because you want it to cool as quick as possible. So even change it into a different bowl if you want, if your pan's very hot, just to keep it cool. And mix everything through like that. Once it's mixed through, set it to the side, lay out your pastry, do a quick clean up. We're getting ready to cut our pastry to make our farmer's plat. Okay, you now want to roll out your pastry for your plat, okay, and you just want to cut it as per how I do it. I'm going to show you a close-up of how I did it earlier so you know exactly what you're doing, okay? I'm just going to do this one fast, but you'll see a close-up now. Okay, once your filling is cool and everything is now, you've cut your pastry, you're just going to half what's in your pan here. Half in the middle, not on where the cuts are, just down the middle like a big sausage roll shape, okay? All you want to do now is roll up your plat, okay? Ends up first, like this. Now you need to make sure your pastry is cool, so if it's got too hot, it'll be hard to get it to roll up, okay? And just work your way up the plat. And just like that, you've got two plats. Don't worry if there's some stuff oozing out the side. Once you bake it, it'll all sort of like crunch together and be delicious, okay? So all I tend to do is leave it on the paper that the pastry came in and get yourself some cling film, pick it up very gently and put it on the cling film, wrap it up in the pastry paper and tightly wrap it in the cling film. This will help it keep its shape. Okay, we're putting one in the freezer and one in the fridge. So you might want to leave it on a tray until it's frozen and on a tray in the fridge just to keep its shape. And just do the same again with your second plat. Woohoo! And you've just done two plats. Now what we want to do is just take our stew off. It has it 25 minutes. It is good to just sit and cool down before we bag it up, okay? Okay, so I got my pork belly out, I drained it from the stock, and now it's just cooked and ready to be placed in my bags for the freezer. My sauce is already in there, and follow the instructions. After this, they'll have a link below and it'll show you exactly how you're cooking it when it comes out the freezer or the fridge. All you want to do just now is put half in your half in one bag, roughly. Whoop. Be gentle with it because it can come apart. And half in the other bag. One is going in the freezer, make sure it's completely cool. You've got your other little bag of sauce, like I say, you're just freezing these flat. And you've done all the hard work. Okay, we've got our aubergine stew, which is finished. It's so hot, I can't bag it up. There's no point in putting stuff in bags if it's too hot. Divide this into two. This is a huge amount for a family of 4, so you can have a really good bowl just with some crusty bread on the side of it. You don't need anything else. You don't need to add pasta or anything like that to it. You've got your pork, Chinese pork belly, and you've got your farmer's plat. 3 of them I'm putting in the fridge, 3 I'm putting in the freezer, and you just made 6 meals in no time at all. Well done. I hope you've really enjoyed this. Take care. Bye.